Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the SCE Live podcast, and what a special one it is today because we are live from Strawberry Fields. Christopher Barnes!
Well, what an experience this is, and why are we live today, Sam?
Because it is only John Lennon's, well, what would have been his 80th birthday.
Wow.
We've been invited along to Strawberry Fields to do this specially socially distanced podcast. And we have the wonderful Leslie here.
Hi.
With us. How are you doing, Leslie? How's everything?
Good, yeah, really excited for today. Looking forward to the exciting things that we've got going on.
Yeah, we won't give too much away because that's what you're marketed. You're bringing the public a fantastic day. But we want to know more about you and this amazing venue.
Okay.
That's the most important thing why we're here, because this venue is so famous. It's been in the history of the music, it's been in the history of Liverpool. It's just a fantastic building and it does so much for the community, and that's what we want to touch on today.
Absolutely.
But before we do that, before we touch on that, tell us about yourself. How long have you been here?
Okay, so my role here, Chris, is I am the official public fundraiser for Strawberry Fields. I started with the Salvation Army, who obviously own Strawberry Fields and the site, in April 2019. So almost coming up to 18 months, yeah. So I made a big jump from a job in the banking industry.
Right.
Passion was fundraising. I was managing the fundraising initiatives of 500 colleagues when I was working at the bank, and I thought, why not just work for one charity? And this opportunity came up, and lo and behold, I got the job. I absolutely got the job of my dreams. I absolutely love coming to work.
And that's what I was going to say. Is this? Well, it is. You just look at the views. It must be nice coming here every day.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean, especially when the weather's like this. But you know, in normal circumstances, just seeing how busy the site is, the amount of people that you know we're changing the lives of, and the tourists that we get on site, and the opportunities to meet people, it just really is the most special place to work.
And have things changed dramatically with COVID? Have they?
Well, obviously visitors.
Yeah,
because a lot of our visitors to Strawberry Fields are international.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've missed out on. We haven't really had a summer here yet, to be honest, guys. We've just celebrated our first birthday on the 14th of September. So we've not, I mean, the peak season, we've not really
experienced
it yet.
Right,
but
okay.
Before that, you know, we saw up to 250 visitors a day.
Wow.
You know, our gates themselves get 80,000 visitors a year in normal circumstances. Wow. So we have, however, had a massive support from the community, local people, and you know, people on staycations. We're still seeing people from as far as Scotland, and you know, from London, people visiting for the day, which is great because obviously we're in mind. We're still seeing a lot of the tourists coming in through our partners like the Fab Four and the Magical Mystery Tour and people like that. So in terms of the COVID situation, we've had to change the way we do things here in the centre, you know, implement our safety measures with visors and masks. We have to have a limited capacity on site now, which at times can seem really quiet and eerie because we're used to the hustle and bustle. But we've had amazing feedback about our safety measures because everyone who comes on site has to have the temperature taken, washes their hands, we're following the track and trace system. So the feedback from that has been great. And everyone who comes on site now has to pre-book. So even if you're coming in for a walk in the garden and just want to grab a takeaway coffee to do that, you've got to book with us, and all that information is on our website. We have slashed the price of the visitors experience to enable our you know, to gather our local community and visitors to come and pay a visit. That's for a limited time. Again, that needs to be pre-booked. So we've done everything we can, and it's working really well.
Yeah. And you're still seeing lots of people, obviously, coming through the door. Yeah.
We're not getting the numbers as, you know, at this time last year, but we are still getting the local people for lunch and breakfast and afternoon tea, and obviously at the moment the trainees of our programme Steps to Work, their placements are taking part on site now.
Right, okay.
So it's good to see more of them, more of the trainees doing active things as well.
So what is Steps to Work?
Okay, so not a lot of people know about the programme that we have on site at Strawberry Field. Obviously the attraction itself is John Lennon, the link to the Beatles, the music side of things. So the Salvation Army developed the programme Steps to Work because when they opened Strawberry Field, although they wanted to attract as many visitors on site as possible, they also wanted to give back to the community at the same time. So they developed a programme called Steps to Work, and that helps young, vulnerable adults get into employment. So beneath where we are at the moment is a training hub. So in that training hub, we offer the programme to 16 to 25-year-olds who suffer mild to moderate learning disabilities. So people can register for the programme online. We can take referrals from colleges and schools, family and friends, and the programme consists of an 8-week work readiness programme which goes on downstairs in the training hub, and then the trainees have 3 opportunities to go out onto work placements within the city. The placements are currently on hold at the moment in other organisations and businesses in the city for the trainees that will participate in all, you know, up to that level. But we're offering the placements here on site for the time being. So the Steps to Work programme, which is actually the heart of Strawberry Field, so my job is to expose that programme and deliver the message to your listeners and people all around the world, and get them to understand that this is the Salvation Army's way of giving back to the community to help people who may not have had these opportunities to go out to work in the big wide world if things had been, you know,
and that's the beauty of Strawberry Field, because people just think it's a visitor attraction. It's gates. It's the famous building that John Lennon used to play in when he was a kid, and then wrote a song about it. But it's more, isn't it?
A lot more than that. Yes. I mean, you know, as well as the programme, we also, my colleague again, Louise, will talk about another element of Strawberry Field. We offer community activities here from our Fresh Expressions department. Louise will move on to that as well. But we've got so much to offer in terms of you know, the tourism side of things, the community getting involved, changing people's lives, which is, you know, a massive thing for the Salvation Army.
There's lots going on, because not only, and Sam, you were having a look at the cakes before. The cafe is amazing.
Unbelievable.
The gardens are amazing, and you've got like bricks. You can put bricks on the floor, can't you? And you can have your own personalised brick.
So one of our initiatives that we run to encourage people to help us raise funds for the Steps to Work programme is what we call Strawberry Lane. And it's the long lane that runs up from the gates on Beaconsfield Road right up until the visitors centre, and alongside the path of Strawberry Lane we've opened up the opportunity for people to buy a piece of granite and they can engrave that with you know, up to 30 characters of their choice. There's just over 900 opportunities for people to participate in that. Each piece of granite is £95. Every penny of that goes back into the Steps to Work programme. We've sold almost 200 in a short space of time. We only launched this in November, but obviously we've closed the centre for the last 4 months, so they are selling fast, so they're also available on the website as well.
Yeah, you do.
And just to give you an idea here, you know, that £95 will be a massive donation towards helping someone get into employment, because it does cost around £10,000 to put one trainee through the programme for 18 months.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that donation as well will go and support the people that are coming into the Steps to Work programme. And there's talk of a bandstand in the gardens. Are we allowed to talk about that? We are, certainly, Sam. Yeah, I'll just give you a little bit of information on that. So we've recently had a massive okay from the council and our wonderful neighbours.
Yes.
I mean, they really are wonderful, you know, and we do really appreciate, you know, everything that they do and their opinion, and they're happy for us to install a bandstand, which you will be able to see from the main road, but obviously we'd love you to come on site to see it.
Yes.
It will be installed early in 2021, and we have had the okay to host, when we get back to normal, 8 live events each year.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It could be really good opportunities to draw more tourism, more visitors to Strawberry Field, and again engaging the community in some activities which we definitely need in 2021.
I think we all need a little bit
so
of music or something in 2021. We've missed out big time. But the space is so big, you can do so much.
Yeah.
There's so much, the garden and the big lawn down the bottom. There's so much room to house these events.
Definitely has got that feeling of community when you walk in as well, especially when you're sitting in the cafe.
Oh yes, that's
and having a good chinwag.
And have a cake.
And a piece of cake.
Gotta have a cake.
Another way that people can help us as well, we are just on the verge of launching Strawberry Field membership.
Okay.
So you've got 2 options to help, you know, to sign up to a membership to us. You've got a silver option and a gold option. The silver is £60 a year. Again, this is a full donation towards the programme. And the gold is £120 a year. It can be paid monthly by direct debit, and you will have benefits that include free access and unlimited access to the visitor's experience. You can also bring a friend along every time you do that. You'll have discounts in the cafe, discounts in the shop, exclusive access to pre-bookable tickets to events before the general public, newsletter. So that is another way that people can support us in terms of donations as well.
Unbelievable. And the shop itself is amazing. We've got you've got so many different, from t-shirts to pens to pads to keychains. It's all official merchandise as well from Strawberry Field as well. So again, guys, make sure that you go into Strawberry Field store and the cafe and make sure.
And what's good about there's little gates.
Yeah,
the little gates.
Yeah,
we'll show that now. There's little gates.
There's little gates that you can buy, which I think, as a tourist, to get something like that from Strawberry Field.
And the small, I love it because they're small enough to fit in your suitcase.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you're getting on an EasyJet flight from Spain for 2 nights, and you've only got your hand luggage, or if you're on a staycation and you're going back to Scotland, they're small enough, but they're so iconic.
Exactly.
And they're so lovely. I've got one in my son's bedroom. Absolutely loves it.
And what's, obviously it's changed, but the people write on the gates outside, don't they?
They
Has
do.
This stopped now?
Well, we can't stop people. But we don't encourage graffiti.
Stop doing it.
But you know, they wouldn't be the same without that graffiti. You know, as I say, it's not something we encourage, and we're starting to see graffiti on the
inside,
not inside the building. No, but I mean, having said that, we are thinking about having some sort of graffiti wall here.
Right. Okay. So an official.
Yeah. I mean, so I've had a visit from a graffiti artist with some ideas. You know, I mean, it'd be great if anyone could make any suggestions for us, or if there is anyone else out there who'd be interested in helping with this. But what we're looking for is something, what they call now, Instagrammable.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you know, like the stuff that they've got down at the Baltic,
Yeah.
the graffiti
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
and if someone takes a photo, you know exactly where they are. So something along the lines of, you
That's
know,
a good idea,
It's a
isn't it?
fantastic
Yeah.
Where
idea.
you can say, right, there it is, and then see how global
Mhm.
it goes. Because you get so many visitors
yeah,
normally when
Normally.
we're not.
yeah,
It would be interesting to see how far a picture would go.
yeah.
I mean, as well, on a personal note, what does the gates mean to you? The actual Strawberry Fields gates?
Personally,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're iconic, I think, for me. They're like, I drive past these gates a lot because I
Yeah,
live up this
these
part
are
of the city, and every time I, obviously not know, but there was always a coach. You have to
Always.
negotiate around the coach,
Mhm.
but they're all taking pictures outside the gates. I think they're world famous gates.
Certainly, they're so iconic. I mean, I have got to say, being from, I'm from Ormskirk,
Yeah.
and you know, I'd never really visited Strawberry Field before I
Yeah.
got the job. But the day I found out I got the job, the next day I thought I must go
Yeah,
and see
go
what
see.
I'm letting myself in
Do
for.
your homework.
And I drove down, it was on a weekend on a Saturday, and obviously I know the area,
Yeah.
massive Beatles fan, I've just never been. And when I seen the coach loads of tourists, I was like, oh, what am I letting myself in for here? But you know, every time I drive past those gates, every time I see those gates, or hear us on radio, or see us in a magazine, I'm so proud to work for the Salvation Army and be part of Strawberry Fields.
Because the old building, I remember the old building, it was like a wooden hut kind of shape. But this building now is so big and it's
Next level,
modern.
isn't it? Yeah.
It
And
is the next level, I agree.
It's a place that you could feel like you could
Yeah,
experience the whole thing and learn and get into the public.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's a good opportunity for everyone. The building, because I've obviously done a tour with you a while ago, the building is situated where the old original house
Exactly.
was.
Yeah, I mean, if you go for a walk in the gardens, just before you get to the original gates in the gardens, we've got a hologram of the original building, and from whatever angle you're stood looking at this hologram in the ground, you're looking at where the old Victorian house was situated. And even when I tell everyone, take a picture of that on your phone, especially if you've got an iPhone, Samsung. It looks like you're taking a picture of the house
Of the
itself.
house.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Because there's original features still going. The stairs
Oh yeah,
are there.
yeah,
Outside there's a some kind of circle with a manhole, but you can see it's part of the original house.
so we
it's
kept the
worth
moat as
a
well.
walk just to the gardens.
Yeah, it is. And the amount of people that say they feel so tranquil when they come here because it's so peaceful.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You do feel different when you're walking around the gardens.
I think so. I think it's
Especially on fantastic weather like this.
Yeah,
And
we are so blessed.
we've got the gates over this side.
Mhm.
Are they the original?
They're the original gates, so there's no chance of those ones getting nicked because
No.
they're absolutely cemented in the ground, and there's cameras and everything.
So they are the original gates.
They are the
Wow.
original gates that were made famous by John Lennon. So the replicas on the front of on Beaconsfield Road, there's a sign to say the replicas, so people know.
Yeah.
But there is also a guy who does make bespoke gates.
Wow.
He's the guy who made the replicas. His name's Jim Bennett, and he ships gates all over the world.
There you go, son.
So,
You'll have to get some.
If there
Start
is
saving.
anyone, and I don't mean gates that we sell in the shop, I mean gates for people's
I
houses.
think I might have to invest in some.
Yeah, we need a house built.
Well,
Certainly.
I
Need big
just
gates.
finish it, go through and electrify them, that'd be good.
Imagine.
One thing we haven't mentioned, the exhibition.
Okay.
The fantastic exhibition. You mentioned that there's an offer for people, everyone, to go into the exhibition. It's about, Strawberry Fields, about the Beatles, about John Lennon. Tell us a little bit more about what people are expecting.
So, obviously this weekend, we do have something extra special inside the visitors experience. and I can't really
No,
say
you're not saying
at
because
the
you need
moment.
to come and see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You need to come along this weekend to see what we've got. It is going to raise massive awareness worldwide, and that's all I say. But originally, the visitors experience is educational, really, and letting people know the history of the Salvation Army and the relationship with Strawberry Fields, then John's relationship with Strawberry Fields, and then a few other things and detail of people who had relationships with Strawberry Fields and John Lennon. And then it moves around to today as well, and where we're at in terms of Strawberry Fields Forever and what it means for people in the music industry. So without giving too much away, definitely come and see us.
I mean, for what you're getting in regards to the gardens, the exhibition, and just generally the cafe.
We've had a little walk around the exhibition. It's fab. It's fab. It's fab for. But it's
that's the name of it, sorry.
But it's if you're a Beatles fan, it's a must.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
A must.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying with being a Beatles fan, but we even get people who come along with their husband and wife or brother, sister, whatever, not really got any interest in the Beatles, and they come out and then they're like, wow.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, the history on the Salvation Army, the history of Strawberry Fields, you know. Everyone's got their own opinion and thoughts about it, unless you're actually in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, you don't, but yeah, the feedback we get from that's amazing. And you only need to see that on TripAdvisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the obviously in the exhibition you've got there's images and people talking, famous people talking, who have different experiences of Strawberry Fields, and it's nice to see what they think it means to them as well.
To them.
It's great. It's a great thing. But we'll talk about music. Do you obviously like the Beatles? Who is your favourite Beatle?
Now you put me on the spot, aren't you?
This is why we ask these questions, Leslie.
Paul.
And do you think he'll make an appearance today? If he is
I'd
round.
love to think so, that Paul would visit, especially this weekend. One thing I will mention, which I think you should ask Sue a little bit more about, is the fact that we've now got Mike McCartney's photographs on display downstairs.
Brilliant.
And he's put a lot of hard work into Strawberry Field with those photographs. So they're also on display for a limited time.
Yeah.
So ask Sue a little bit about that, more about that. But I'd hope Mike will bring Paul along one day.
Yes, let's hope. And if he comes, we are staying around all day.
All day. And we won't move.
In fact, what we'll do is if he comes, we'll just nab him and put him in on the podcast.
It's definitely going to be unannounced, isn't it? Because I honestly, guys, don't know anything, about.
That's how he works, though, isn't it?
And if you did, you wouldn't be telling us and telling them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, there you go.
No, so Paul is your favourite Beatle?
Yeah.
And do you have a favourite Beatles song? That's a good one.
Well.
Or do you have a favourite, let's think, favourite artist? What is your favourite?
Yeah, what have you been listening to recently?
I do listen to the Beatles a lot more.
Yeah.
I know
Since
it sounds so cheesy.
Yeah.
One funny story though before I go. It was the other night. I was going to say Help is my favourite song, right? And I'm in the kitchen. I've got the Alexa on, cooking the tea, and the lads are in the living room. And a song had finished, and I goes and opens and goes, can someone give me a hand, help me, and help them on behind me? So, and you know what, it is one of my favourite songs, but and we were absolutely rolling around the floor laughing. But the lads, my partner and my son, I talk about when I say the lads, we're all massive music fans.
Yeah.
We've missed out on seeing Paul McCartney in Nice this year. We're massive music fans, so I just hope 2021 will bring us better.
And obviously live music is what Sam and I do, and hopefully we will be able to bring some of our Beatles acts
100%.
to Strawberry Fields, and including Paul.
Yeah, Paul McDonough is our resident tribute to John Lennon himself.
Amazing.
And hopefully we can get him on this bandstand.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it's,
Well, we've had a chat about potentially doing some events together and having some acts here,
Which will be fun.
which is, you know, we're happy to pick up conversations about again, because I'm really excited to be working with you guys.
We've had a couple of nice afternoons Strawberry Fields over the last couple of months, and we've had a look go in the cafe, which is the most important for me.
Absolutely. Leslie, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you.
It's been
guys.
great. And let's enjoy the rest of this lovely weekend celebrating John Lennon's birthday.
So Sue.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you with podcasts?
Listening to them or being on them?
Both.
It's a bit rough, isn't it? Love a good podcast. I travel into Liverpool every day.
Right, okay.
So I am like the podcast queen. I love listening to podcasts.
They're quite enlightening, some of them. I think you put one on and you think, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I never knew that.
Yeah.
Every day's a school day.
some weird ones as well. Make sure you subscribe to the SCE Live podcast
That's
as
right.
well. But is there any other podcasts that you've been listening to recently?
There's been a few. There's probably some I can't mention because of where I work. Yeah, there's been a few. I've listened to the Louis Theroux ones through lockdown, branded.
Yes.
I've loved that. I always listen to Desert Island Discs. If one of my favourites is on there, I always listen to that, and I re-listen to some of them as well. I'm a big Audible fan, so I listen to Audible books. So anything that'll pass an hour in the car. Absolutely. And do you know what? Sometimes you want to listen to voices rather than music.
I think so. Yeah. We found that though we're doing this in this was our lockdown project, as you know. I've just gone strengthened. We were actually in New Jersey. We were in New Jersey the other week doing a podcast. We've been to Dallas the other week and LA the other week doing this. It's gone global, and now we're here on John Lennon's birthday in Strawberry Field. So it's another tick to the box for us. So what do you do day to day, is it?
So I look after the commercial side of things. So I look after the cafe, the visitor experience, and the shop.
Right.
So that's where my background is. So I run the team, and I have an amazing team of people.
Yeah.
We look after the merchandise that we sell. We get all the suppliers in, and because we're part of the Salvation Army, all of that gets really well checked. Yeah. So it's just a really thoughtful commercial opportunity. Rather than it being very corporate, it's something that's very driven.
We went to the shop, I've said before, we said to Leslie before we went to the shop, there's some amazing, unique little gifts that you could get. The gates especially.
The gates are unbelievable. We were saying before, it's small enough to fit into your suitcase
as a tourist.
And it's big enough to go on the mantelpiece.
Absolutely.
On the fireplace. And the key rings, the t-shirts, there's basically anything with Strawberry Fields.
Do you think, I like that more, I like that, or is it just...
Yeah, I mean, there are some pieces in there that have been driven by Andy, who's our merchandise manager. Yeah. And he'll say, oh, I love that.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Like we're working on some things now for later on in the year, so like the winter ranges. Right. So there's different things coming in. But a lot of it as well is through the team. So the team will say, we've had a request for this kind of t-shirt or this colour, or somebody's looking for this, and we've been asked a few times. So it really is a big team effort, to sort of see what and you always know if something's popular because the team buy it as soon as it hits.
What is the most popular gift?
T-shirts.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
At the moment, we've just put in the new Gates one, which is an image of, I think it's 8 gates on the front. I bought one actually the other day. It's 8 small gates, and it's the t-shirt that Danny Boyle wore when he was here. So when they filmed yesterday, before the demolition, there's a picture of Danny Boyle stood at the gates in this particular t-shirt, and we've just managed to get it back. And I walked down, it came in on the morning, I think, of like the Wednesday last week, and I walked down at about 3:30, and it was decimated, all the sizes are gone. It's like, guys, what's going on? They were like, I'm so sorry, Sue, didn't save you one. I was like, oh, okay, there's one left. So I was like, I'm having it. But that's the best.
Were you here when they filmed?
Yes. I wasn't,
right,
unfortunately, no. I would have loved to have met Danny Boyle, but because he's a local guy, isn't he? He's from Bury, so. But no, I wasn't. The lady who actually took me on for the job was here, and she got to meet him. And the story goes that on the day, he came, and there was some playground equipment in the gardens
Yeah.
that the children used to play with that had been made for them by somebody local,
Wow.
and they were going to get rid of it. And he was like, oh, no, that has to stay. And they were literally in the process of dismantling it. So it all got put back together, and now we have that. So we have that as part of our artefacts as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because I remember coming up here because I'm a Beatles fan, I thought. And we walked up. I'd leave Theo and Mike in the pram, we walked up. And we followed the trail because they went here, then they went down to Penny Lane, and then they went up to St. Peter's Church. And we got caught in the filming at the St. Peter's Church. And they were going like, right, just stand there while they do this scene. And Theo started shouting, oh no.
That's Theo for you.
He started shouting, it was like, you could see it all being filmed. We just stand there with the pram, and then he just started kicking off, and we're like, oh, this is going on. But it was great because there was I remember walking past it actually, as a Beatles fan, I'd try and get on film. But there was a massive crane, he had a huge crane at the front there, and obviously they took that down. But the whole of Woolton shut down that day.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. We've got a load of pictures of images of that day.
It was, I think I took a few pictures, I'll
think you did.
have to show you them again, but you could see Danny Boyle on the top of this by Eleanor Rigby grave, and that's where, it was just at the top of the wall. We were over the side of the road, just watching, and he was like,
So it is today John Lennon's birthday, or what
It
would
is.
have been his 80th birthday.
Yeah.
And we were talking just then about yesterday in the film, and you know, the what if John Lennon was still alive. What do you think he'd be doing today on his birthday, being the big 80?
I think really being in this space and knowing that John used to play here and learning more and more about him as you go through this journey with Strawberry Field, I just think that kind of the thought of peace and imagining peace and having something in the world where everybody did live together as one, and I think that is such an important message. And I think that's something that he would still be fighting for, because now more than ever we need to pull together and work together and live together and look after each other.
I think that's so important.
Yeah.
Actually, over the podcast the last couple of months and stuff, I think that's one of the most important things I've heard on one of the podcasts.
Coming together. And we always say, don't we, when we were asking these artists that are coming onto our podcast, they're releasing new music during the pandemic, and we kind of turn to each other and go, why would you want to release it during a pandemic where you can't listen to it live or you can't see them? But we need new music.
And most people are saying it's not about music, it's the message in the music. So I'm getting what I feel at this moment. It's the message of how we're living. So I think that would be important. Do you think if John was still here, he'd have come to have a look? I kind of think he would.
Yeah, I think he would. I think because he always had that. You always kind of get that. People would come. They say there's that link.
Yeah.
Like he came back in the 70s and Yoko came and different people came.
Yeah.
And I think it was a really special place. And knowing that you could go beyond the gates again, it's been a real experience for people.
Yeah.
And it's strange, people come here and they say, we can feel something. There's something different in this place.
Yeah.
You walk on and it feels peaceful and calm. And there's a massive main road that runs along the front of us. There's no peace.
No.
Woolton's busy.
But once you're in here, it is quite the gardens, and especially the Steps to Work programme. What a place to do it. It is
amazing.
Relaxing. It is quiet. It's a nice place to be. If I'm honest with you. Yeah. Which is what we want.
It's amazing for Steps to Work. Just because you've got somewhere where you can just be.
Yeah.
There's no preconceptions, there's no pressure, there's no stress.
Yeah.
It's just a really chilled place, somewhere that you can just be yourself.
And I think that's important. And just even walking around the gardens, you can see people now just having a walk, and it's a nice, relaxing place, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
which is what we want. But speaking of the Beatles as well, who is your favourite Beatle?
Oh my goodness.
What a question.
What a question.
Leslie did say a controversial answer that wasn't John Lennon.
Really?
Yes.
She did.
Now I have to say,
I'm thinking.
when I was quite young, I bought Imagine.
Okay.
So we had a copy of Imagine at home.
Right.
So John was always my first link. Oh, that's so difficult.
I love it.
Who's your favourite Beatle?
It's Paul.
Is it Paul?
Is it Paul?
My earliest memory of the Beatles in general was Paul and Hey Jude.
Ah.
And then on piano. So I've got that link with Paul, and then also working at Lipper and being surrounded by that, and so yeah, I'd probably say Paul for me, but again, John's legacy still lives on today.
Yeah.
And like you said so eloquently about, you know, his message of peace and that tranquil feeling of being around Strawberry Fields. I think he'd definitely be here on his birthday, celebrating it here, giving it a little performance maybe, I think.
Well, especially if the
Oh, we're not going to mention it.
well,
We're not going to mention it.
if there's live events happening,
There's live events happening.
definitely, I think he would have enjoyed it. So go on, who is the favourite Beatle?
So, you say what he's saying.
I'm saying John.
Well, John is my favourite, I think, but closely followed by Paul, and then George, and But do you know what? You ask my 5-year-old daughter, and she'd sit
She'll say
here and
Ringo.
say, no, she'd sit in, she thinks it's hilarious that he's called Ringo. But she'd sit in here and say Paul, because her baby song was Blackbird, and she'd sit and sing along to Penny Lane.
Okay.
She loves Penny Lane.
Yeah.
So Paul can do no wrong, and we've got Hey Granddude at home.
Oh yeah,
So Paul can do no wrong in Grace's eyes. But then you've got Harry, who's a John Lennon fan.
Yeah. I think when we're John Lennon fans in our house.
You are.
Well, I am. But we're mostly Lennon fans in our house.
Yeah.
But you know, we've seen Paul McCartney a few times, and he's fab live.
Yeah.
He's just a real good showman, isn't he?
Absolutely.
And he keeps smashing these concerts and singing for hours, and that's what music's all about, isn't it? The legacy of these guys, and obviously in this building as well, the legacy of John Lennon and his message, which is all around the place, will carry on, I think. And it's good to get younger generations in here as well to see what's going on. So
We've been saying it, haven't we, especially with these lockdowns and local lockdowns, and you know, businesses like this have suffered, and it's important that the local community and the local areas do come and support the likes of Strawberry Fields and all the other events that are happening around the city, and stay, don't go away to another country, stay, have a staycation, stay in Liverpool and go around and see these fantastic events that are happening today. And across the city as well. But Sue, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us.
You're so welcome.
And let's hope in the next year we can all get back to normality, and we can all enjoy this place a little bit more, and hopefully we'll get Paul McCartney here one day.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
We'll give him a call today and see if he can.
Do your best. Do your best.
Thanks, Sue.
Thanks so much, Sue.
Louise! Fresh expression leader. That sounds like an 80s synth pop band.
It does, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
On stage next is the Fresh Expression leader.
Tell us, what is it? Tell the people at home, what is it?
It's very exciting. So, you know, the Salvation Army is a Christian church.
Yeah.
So, a fresh expression is a new way of being church, basically.
Right,
because we know a lot of people don't want to maybe go into a church building, or they've maybe been put off church or faith through whatever's happened to them in the past, or the image they have of what it's all about. So we're just here at Strawberry Field as a new expression of the church, meeting people where they are and just doing everyday life with people, because we believe the church is about us being people of light shining where we are in our communities, just being normal.
Right, and what a place to be.
I know, it's amazing.
And are you here most days? Are you here?
Quite a lot, but
Right.
also in the community as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And do you find a lot of people are now starting to come here?
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
have a lot of people who come regularly.
Right.
Then we also have, we work closely, of course, with our volunteers, our trainees and their families. So it's building relationships with all of those people,
Yeah.
but also a lot of our regular customers we've got to know really well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's madness, isn't it? That this building, it's a modern new building. It's only been open in virtually a year, hasn't it? And there's so much going on that you don't realise what is going on here. It's massive.
Yeah.
And what a place to be. The gardens must be so relaxing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Just to walk around.
Yeah. And people who come here, you know, they may not have ever thought about spirituality or faith.
Yeah.
Maybe they have just come solely to see those gates,
Yeah.
and that's what they want to do. But we find that when they come here and just have the whole experience here, because of the whole kind of culture that we're creating here, they just are wowed by it, and they're like, there's something about this place. And of course we believe it's because over many years there's been prayer going on this site, because the Salvation Army's been here since the 1930s.
Yeah.
There have been people here praying all those years. There's something very special about this place.
It is. It's a very, very welcoming place as well, and I think that's the most important thing. We've been a few times now, and we've always been very welcomed, and we've been looked after, and people are interested in what we do as well as us asking about you guys. Has things changed dramatically for you since obviously COVID has took over the world? Has things changed a lot for you?
It's different. So we've just obviously had to adapt like everybody else to make sure that we're doing everything as safely as we can. We haven't been able to run the groups that we were running, so we had a community choir had just started, which was brilliant. Of course we can't run that at the moment. We had ukulele players here each week learning to play the ukulele. We were doing shared reading groups, so different things to engage the community. We can't run those groups, but we've just adapted what we're doing. So we're out walking with people who are isolated, you know, in the local community. We're doing what we can to still connect and engage with people.
And you've started something called, what's this fire pit thing that's coming?
Oh yeah, so I mean at the moment we can't do that, but we began to do this when the rule was you could meet with 6 people outside. So we gathered around a fire pit at a distance down there on the patio, which was really special. So it's also something people feel, well, I can come and do that, because you're not under pressure to talk to anyone. The fire is the focus of the attention, but it's a really powerful thing to share stories and get to know people.
And you're outside as well, which is great. And I love this time of year, being on John Lennon's birthday in the autumn. The nights go darker earlier, and being outside in the autumn, I think it's the nicest time of year.
It's really nice. And you know, being here and surrounded by the trees and nature, there's something really special about that.
And obviously we were looking, we were chatting before with different people, but they were saying some of the lyrics are important from John Lennon, the Beatles. Are they important when you pray? Do you use any of the Beatles lyrics or John Lennon's lyrics in any of these things?
Yeah, we have done. And prior to lockdown, we were every day at midday, we would stop and we'd invite anyone who was visiting to come and pause with us for 10 minutes. We said we were having a 10-minute meditation reflection. We used the song Imagine to do that. So we found great power in that, because of course people can engage with that song, and before you know it you're having conversations about what would the world look like if it really was as one. What would it look like if there weren't any barriers in our world? And you can begin to have those kind of really meaningful conversations with people.
I think sometimes people react to lyrics that they know so well a lot more. I know when I was in school and we were learning about faith and stuff, if I hadn't had that different perspective on it, I think I would have embraced what was going on more, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because I could relate direct with the music side of things, I think that is a really different way of looking at things as well.
And actually our garden tour uses 3 songs. So we use Imagine, All You Need Is Love, and Watching the Wheels.
Right.
So all different themes come out of those songs, but we can again connect with, well, what was happening for John Lennon then? Why might he have written those lyrics, and what's happening for you in your life, And at the minute, I guess we're all a bit watching the wheels, aren't we?
We are indeed. And is there a favourite Beatles song that you have?
It is Imagine at the moment. Yeah, I just love it. It's really powerful.
It kind of encompasses everything that you're involved with Strawberry Fields.
Yeah.
And it's fabulous. What do you think he'd be doing if he was still around, John Lennon, on his birthday today?
He'd just have a great time. I'm sure he'd have a great big party.
I'm sure we'd all be invited.
But I think he wouldn't be afraid to have a few words about what's going on in the world. And, his bit for peace, like sort yourselves out.
Exactly.
You would probably say it like that.
I think you would say it like that.
Not in that accent.
No. Although that would be quite funny though, wouldn't it?
Do you have a favourite Beatle? We've asked this a few times today. Have you got a favourite Beatle?
It's definitely John.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
No one said Ringo yet.
No.
We'll leave that there. I've got down People of Peace Awards.
Yeah.
What's your involvement in that?
Yeah, so we launched on the 21st of September, which was International Day of Peace.
Right.
Our very own People of Peace Awards. So we felt that at this time people need some good news and something to celebrate, because there's so much bad news. So we thought it would be really good to just celebrate local people. Let's kind of lift them up and praise them for the simple things maybe that they're doing in their communities, or just the people they are. What are they doing to help promote peace? So that's what that is, and we have judges for this, and then the beginning of December we'll announce 5 winners for the People of Peace
Amazing.
Awards.
This is what it's all about. And what is your favourite part of this whole bit? What's your favourite part of being
Strawberry Field?
Yeah. What's your
The
favourite?
people.
Wow, I wasn't expecting
I
that.
wasn't expecting
I
that.
literally just got goosebumps when you
I
said
wasn't
that.
expecting that.
Why the people?
We just love people. So every day here you just meet amazing people,
Yeah.
from all sorts of places, beautiful people.
Way to end.
Placed to end. Thank you so much, Louise.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I love that.
That was brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.